Hey, real quick, what happens if you do this every single day? I'm talking about ejaculation. And I know that might feel like a weird thing to ask out loud, but here's the thing. It's one of the most common questions men ask me in the clinic, and it cuts across every age group. Guys in their 20s, guys in their 60s, married guys, single guys. They're all wondering the same thing. Does it drain your energy? Does it affect your performance? Is it actually healthy, or is it something you should be worried about? Well, today we're diving deep into this because the answer matters way more than you probably think. Before we get into it, I want to know where you're watching from. Drop your location in the comments. I read them all, and I love seeing our community spread across the globe. And while you're at it, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Every week, we talk about men's health topics that matter, the stuff that's usually off limits in regular conversations. We keep it real, shame-free, and actually useful. So let's get into this. Here's the thing that most people get wrong. There's no universal answer to whether daily ejaculation is good or bad. It totally depends on why you're doing it, how your body responds to it, and what's actually happening in your life. Some guys I work with feel amazing when they're consistent. Better sleep, less stress, more confidence. Other guys find it's draining them, cranking up their desire in ways that don't serve them, or messing with their performance. So we need to look at the full picture, and that's exactly what we're doing today. I should probably tell you who I am. I'm a board-certified urologist, and I've spent the last decade plus working with men, a lot of them in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. I've heard every question, every concern, every worry about this stuff. And I'm not here to judge anyone or make them feel weird about it. I'm here like a friend who happens to be a doctor, giving you straight talk so you can actually understand your body and make choices that work for you. So here's what we're covering today. I'm walking you through 5 surprising benefits of daily ejaculation, 5 real drawbacks you should know about, and then we're getting practical. I'm going to show you how to figure out what's actually right for your body and your goals. By the time we're done, you're going to feel informed, confident, and totally clear. No shame, no guessing. Let's start with the benefits because there are some real ones. First benefit, pleasure hormones and mood regulation. When you ejaculate, your brain releases a whole cascade of chemicals. Endorphins, those are your body's natural painkillers. Dopamine, that's your reward and motivation chemical, the thing that makes you feel driven and good. Oxytocin comes in too, and that's your bonding hormone. It makes you feel connected and calm. And then serotonin, which is basically your mood stabilizer. All of that together, it resets your nervous system. You're literally calming anxiety, releasing tension, building resilience. It's like a natural mental health reset button. A lot of guys tell me they feel less snappy, less wound up, more grounded afterward. That's real. Second benefit, better sleep quality. Right after ejaculation, your body releases prolactin, and that hormone promotes relaxation. Mix that with the endorphins and oxytocin you just released, and your brain is basically being told it's time to rest. You fall asleep faster, you sleep deeper, and you wake up more refreshed. For guys with racing thoughts or insomnia, this can be a game changer. You recover better, you focus better the next day, and your energy levels are actually higher because you slept well. It's worth paying attention to if sleep is something you struggle with. Third benefit, improved blood flow and circulation. When you get aroused, blood vessels dilate, your heart rate goes up, oxygen delivery increases. Honestly, it's like a mini cardiovascular workout, and that has a real effect. Your erections get better, your confidence goes up because you're noticing that you're more responsive. But it also supports your overall cardiovascular system, and that matters as you get older. Better circulation isn't just about performance, it's about vascular health. Fourth benefit, lower prostate cancer risk. This one comes from a Harvard study that followed 31,000 men over 20 years, and the data is pretty clear. Men who ejaculated 21 or more times a month had lower prostate cancer risk. The theory is that frequent ejaculation flushes out old cells and reduces inflammation in the prostate gland. Now, this doesn't replace regular checkups, but it's reassuring. A lot of guys worry about health stuff they don't understand, and this actually gives them some peace of mind. Fifth benefit, immune system support. Ejaculation boosts immunoglobulin, which is basically your body's defense against viruses and bacteria. You pair that with the stress reduction we talked about earlier, and you're supporting your immune system overall. It's subtle, but it's part of the bigger wellness picture. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The Harvard research suggests there's a sweet spot, around 21 times a month, or about 6 to 7 times a week. That's where you see about a 36% reduction in prostate cancer risk compared to men with low frequency. But it's not the same for every age group. In your 40s, you're looking at 13 or more times a month, so roughly 2 to 4 times a week, and that gives you about a 28% risk reduction. Your testosterone is still strong, your recovery is faster, and your body can handle more frequent activity. By your 50s, you're looking at about 1 to 3 times a week or 10 or more times a month. And here's why. Testosterone drops about 1 to 2% every year after 30. It adds up. Your recovery takes a bit longer, and your body's telling you to slow down a little bit. In your 60s and beyond, we're talking about 0 to 2 times a week or 4 to 8 times a month. Your body's different now, and that's okay. It's not about matching some perfect number. It's about consistency and listening to your own energy, your desire, your confidence. The real key here is this. The numbers matter less than what your body's actually telling you. Track how you feel. Gauge your energy, your mood, your desire. The frequency that works for you might be different from someone else, and that's totally fine. But we need to talk about the drawbacks too, because there are some real ones. First drawback, compulsive behavior. There's a huge difference between a healthy habit and something that's controlling your life. If ejaculation is something you're choosing, something that feels good and fits into your day, that's one thing. But if it's an urge that's running your schedule, pulling you away from work or relationships, rewiring your reward system in ways that feel out of control, that's something else. A lot of guys develop guilt and shame around it. They waste focus and time, and it can actually distance them from real intimacy. The question you need to ask yourself is, am I choosing this, or is this choosing me? Second drawback, emotional crutch. Sometimes daily ejaculation becomes a way to avoid dealing with stress, boredom, or loneliness instead of actually addressing what's going on underneath. It creates a dependency, and it can block you from healthier outlets like exercise, journaling, or even talking to someone. It's one tool, but it shouldn't be the only tool you're using to manage your emotional life. Third drawback, lower sperm count. If you're thinking about conception, this matters. Your body needs about 48 to 72 hours to replenish sperm. If you're trying to have a baby with your partner, spacing things out 2 to 3 days apart optimizes your chances. Now, this doesn't mean total abstinence, but it does mean strategy. And I've seen couples stress over this when they didn't know it was just a timing thing. Fourth drawback, reduced sensitivity and desire. If you're doing this a lot, especially in a rushed or repetitive way, dopamine and your reward system get dulled. Your arousal spark goes down. You're not as responsive. But here's the good news. Short breaks reset that sensitivity. You don't need to overhaul your life. Sometimes just a few days of spacing things out brings that back. Fifth drawback, performance issues. If you're in a habit of rushing through this, your nervous system actually learns that pattern. You end up conditioning yourself towards speed, which can show up as premature ejaculation or anxiety with a partner. The fix here is to slow down, learn edging, focus on breathing and rhythm. Retraining your nervous system takes time, but it's absolutely doable. I want to hit pause here because I want to know, what's one change you're thinking about making based on what you've heard so far? Drop it in the comments. I read them, and I love seeing what resonates with guys. So let me bring this all together with what actually matters. Daily ejaculation isn't inherently good or bad. What matters is why you're doing it. Are you doing it for pleasure and relief, or is it more compulsive? What's the actual effect on your body and mind? Are you sleeping better, feeling more confident, or are you more tired, more anxious, more disconnected? And how does it fit with your actual goals? Are you trying to improve your health, work on your relationship, or deal with something else? Here's a practical protocol for figuring out what's right for you. First, spend 2 weeks just tracking. Write down your frequency, your energy level, your mood, your libido, how you're sleeping. Just observe. Don't judge, just notice. Second, experiment. Try daily for a week or two and notice how you feel. Then try spacing it out, maybe 3 times a week, and see what shifts. Your body will tell you what works. Third, think about balance. This isn't the only thing that matters for your health. Sleep, exercise, stress management, real relationships, all of that's part of the picture. Ejaculation is one piece. Fourth, communicate.